Okay, where are all my people that are struggling with circulation in their hands and feet? And this might be that you just get cold hands and feet. This might be that you start noticing you have puffy ankles, that the circulation's getting stuck down there. This might be something as simple as some stiffness in the hands, especially as you are aging. So if this is you, I want to talk specifically about some herbs and spices that you can add in to be able to improve circulation that are simple. Like, this is such easy hacks that we all should know about. So I want to dive into these 3 herbs. I want to talk about how circulation gets affected in our body, how it gets impeded, and then I'll tell you some of my favorite hacks for increasing circulation outside of these herbs and spices. So you ready? Here we go. Okay, first thing to know about circulation, and I did a really interesting video that a lot of you responded really well to, which was, what does the bottom of your feet tell you? And I think this is really important to have some concepts around why your circulation is being affected. Because a video like this, it could be really easy for me to stand up and be like, hey, this spice is going to help you with circulation. And then you start thinking about adding all that spice in, but you're not thinking about why the circulation became a problem in the first place. So I'm going to have my team will link in there the video I did on what the bottom of your feet will tell you. And I'm going to give you a little Cliff Notes version of it right now, which is when we get this congestion in our feet, specifically, it can be a sign that your liver is struggling, specifically something called your portal vein. When your liver is working really hard to detox, that area between the liver, the gallbladder, and the common bile duct gets really congested. And getting things in and out, the path in and out of the liver, one of the paths is this portal vein, that it can start to build pressure inside of it. And once pressure builds within this liver system, all of a sudden you start getting a sluggish circulatory system. So the reason I want to bring that to you before I jump into these herbs and spices is because I want to make sure that you're always checking your liver. Again, I will link that video so you can go and watch it if that resonates with you. Please make sure that you're doing the liver hacks that I teach here. Okay. Outside of that, I want to break these 3 herbs and spices down. So the first one I've been taking in supplementation for years. It's called Rhodiola. And Rhodiola, I will put a link for my favorite supplement, is really good at not only helping with stress, which anytime our body's under stress, there's going to be an impediment of blood flow, nervous flow, chi flow. All of that is affected by our stress levels. But we are seeing, based off of science, that rhodiola is really important for improving circulation. So let me give you a couple of interesting studies on this. So a 2022 review, so this is pretty recent, I like to find the recent stuff, showed that rhodiola increased circulation and improved cardiovascular function. So think of that as a potential herb for those of you that have high blood pressure or your cholesterol is higher than you want it to be. We also are seeing that when you use rhodiola before an endurance event, because it improves circulation throughout the whole body, a lot of athletes are using it to increase endurance and physical health because of its ability to move your blood through your whole system. Remember that when we're dealing with cold hands and feet, or we're dealing with those cankles, is that what we call them? Cankles around the ankle, it's stagnation. And so when we take rhodiola, we're improving overall blood flow. Which leads me to the last study that I really love about rhodiola is that it really helped with mental energy and mental clarity. Again, getting blood flow to the brain. So if those swollen ankles or those cold hands and feet are just really a struggle for you, start thinking about taking a supplement that has rhodiola in it. I will leave my favorite in the notes below. Okay, number 2. This is my favorite, one of my favorite, I guess it's a root. but I put it in my juices all the time, and it's ginger. In fact, anytime I go and get a juice out in the world, I always have them add ginger in. Ginger is so healing. It's incredible for your digestive system, which is a whole nother video. It's really good for the liver, so we're back at supporting liver for circulation. It's a bitter food. Any bitter foods is good for the liver. But what science is saying is that it's a vasodilator. So it opens up your blood vessels so your circulation can move through. So if we look at rhodiola as improving circulation, and then we add it to ginger, what we find is now we've opened up, we've dilated the vessels, and we've improved circulation. We've got a powerful combo for helping with hands and feet. Okay, now the interesting thing about ginger is if you cook it, you destroy this vasodilating effect. So you really need to drink it in its raw form or put it in a tea. So a couple things that I've always done for my kids when they're little, when they had a tummy ache, I would just cut up ginger and I would put it, just big ginger hunks, and put it in hot water as a ginger tea. So that's one way you can do that, although it is a form of heating up, it's just not a cooking up. But like I said, I like to put it in all of the juices. So I have a juicer at home and I like to put it in that, or if I go out, I'll order it as to be added to my juice. Sometimes if I find those little ginger shots at the health food store, that can be helpful as well. Okay, number 3 is cayenne pepper. Now this one's really interesting because I did a video on menopausal belly fat and on where cayenne can really help with that accumulation of fat around here. But one of the things that I didn't say in that video that I'll say in this video is that capsaicin, that heat that is in cayenne pepper, is also a vasodilator. It will lower blood pressure and it will improve blood flow. So it's a bit of a combination of these two. It has the effects of rhodiola, plus it has the effects of ginger, and it will really help with making sure that you have proper blood flow so that you can move that circulation and not let it be stagnant. There are a lot of different ways to get cayenne pepper in. You can do actually like a chili pepper that's got a lot of heat. The more capsaicin in it, which is great. So I'm not a huge spicy food fan. Some of you are, and I love that. I know it's an acquired taste, but when we look at the spiciness and the heat that can come from these peppers, they can also support that healthy blood flow. Okay, I gotta interrupt this video because I have a free guide for you so you can master fasting. It's called A Beginner's Guide to a Fasting Lifestyle, and all you've got to do is click here and you can jump right in. Now, last thing that I want to talk about. So when we're looking especially at blood flow in the lower part of the body, it's really important that we are always opening up our detox pathways. So one of the detox pathways of the lower body to keep an eye on are the back of the knees and right between the back of the Achilles tendon. And what we know about those areas is if they start to get puffy, if the back of your knees get puffy, on either side of that Achilles tendon is getting puffy, and then the other areas right here in the inguinal area, when those start to get puffy, that can be an indication before your actual feet stop having proper circulation. So there's a couple ways you can handle that puffiness. So first is you could just rub it. You can just gently rub it. Just make sure always that you're rubbing your lower extremities up into your core as part of your body. I know in my showers I have loofahs, those dry like sponges, and I always do the back of my knees. I always do my ankles. I always do the inguinal area. I always do my gut, and then I do under my arms. So I do all my detox pathways with a loofah, or you can try some dry brushing. The other really simple thing to think about with circulation is, and this is approachable for a lot of you, are just those simple rebounders where you're just jumping on a trampoline that can improve that lymph flow throughout your whole body. So as always, I'm here to teach you principles. I'm here to give you formulas that you can start to apply many things to. My channel does not stand for just saying, hey, do more cayenne pepper and all of a sudden your circulation improves. I want you to understand why your circulation went off, and then I really want you to understand all the tools you have to improve it. But it's a really important sign of liver health. And I think that's, one of the reasons I wanted to do this video is because our liver is the hardest working organ in our body. We need it to be able to metabolically switch so we can make ketones. We need it to detoxify so the toxic load doesn't build in our body. We need our liver to burn fat. It is actually your fat burning organ. So taking insane care of your liver is really important, and then making sure that you're supplementing in with herbs and spices like this that are going to improve that blood flow could be, not just the difference between you having swollen ankles or you having swollen hands or cold hands and feet, but it can also be the difference between if you're going to gain weight or lose weight, if you're going to break down estrogen through the menopausal process, and ultimately what kind of chronic disease you're going to get. So these tips, although simple, are powerful when you put them together in combination. So as always, I hope that helps, and put in the comments if any of these have worked tremendously for your liver. I have done some incredible, if you go way back, in fact, I'm going to task my team with this, to go and I did a Resetter podcast with this beautiful man, we call him Gav, and he has an essential oils business that he has made some incredible essential oils to support liver health. So I will put a link to that podcast interview in the notes. You can go listen to it. Because sometimes something as simple as putting some essential oils on your liver may help as well. So lots of hacks here. Don't fall prey to the diagnosis that as you age, you're just going to have poor circulation. That's not the end of the story. That we need to understand what went down in the process of aging and how do we bring that back up, and then what we can do to support great circulatory health. So, as always, I hope that helps. So if you love this video, you're going to want to check out this video. If you have SIBO, the opposite will happen. You'll actually end up getting more bloated. So you would actually avoid fiber and go into some of these other hacks that I'm going to give you right here.